So Bryson, you've had OneLength irons in your bag for quite a while now. Maybe talk us through just the OneLength concept in general and who can benefit from OneLength irons.
Yeah, so I reinvented these back in 2011 with Mike Shy, and these clubs can benefit literally everybody in the world. The problem is there's a bunch of people that have played variable length for their whole lives, so I get that, I understand that, but I truly believe that if you go pick these up and you get the right fitting for you and the right headway, right swing weight, all those dynamics, the shaft flex, it can literally benefit everybody. And you can see it in today's world where there's a lot of guys out there switching to OneLength and seeing drastic improvements in their ball striking capabilities. I get asked a lot, why do these clubs work better than variable length? And personally, the reason is because they're all one length. And when you're setting up to a golf ball, right, I don't have to be at a pitching wedge length, going to a 3-iron length, or going to 7-iron length, or 8-iron, or 9-iron. I'm setting up in the same body posture no matter what. That's really the reason why I switched to it, because I said I want to be able to make sure I'm in the same posture each and every time I'm hitting every single shot. I get a bunch of people come up to me every tour event going, hey, thanks for making those irons. I am hitting incredibly well now because of you. And so it's really quite an honor to be able to say I helped move the OneLength idea along in the game of golf. And we did. Cobra and Cobra Pumas is helped us go to another level with this whole idea. So it can benefit everybody, and it's going to keep benefiting everyone, I personally believe.
So Bryson, there's a lot of kind of discussion and questions about the difference between OneLength and OnePlane. Mm-hmm. So what's the distinction there between the two?
So they are not related at all, not one bit. I just happen to be swinging on one plane with these OneLength irons. So in order to go play these clubs, most people think, oh, I got to swing on one plane. Well, that's not true at all. You can swing it whatever way you want. That's originally how I wanted it to be designed. Unfortunately, I'm swinging on one plane, and so it seems like if you swing the OneLength irons, you got to swing on one plane. That's not true at all. It's as simple as saying you can take whatever swing you want, maybe Jim Furyk or whoever, right, and swing it whatever way they want with these OneLength clubs.
One of the things that's obviously really important while you're out on the course is being able to play the shot necessary, right? So right to left, left to right, high, low. So maybe if you can kind of run us through what you think about and how you execute a shot that you need to get up in the air a little bit and kind of land it in a little softer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of people talk about shot shaping with the OneLength. How do you hit it low? How do you hit it high? And personally, for me and for everyone, it honestly should be the exact same as any type of shot shaping you do with variable length. The only difference is you're never going to, because the lengths are the same, you're never going to have to move it away from you or get closer to it. It's always just moving it up or back, right? So if I want to hit it lower, you just move it back in your stance. That's easy to hit it lower. If you want to hit it up on it, or if you want it higher, you're going to hit up on it. If you want to draw it, personally for me, I close the face and I aim a little right. So all I did in the grip, I didn't do this. I closed the grip in my handle, gripped it the exact same, and I made that face point right back to the target, and I swing across my feet line. Or draw. The opposite with the cut, I open the face in my hands, leave the grips the exact same, point that face to the target, and then swing across my feet line. And those are honestly, that's all I do. If I went at a low cut, I put it back in my stance with that open face. If I went at a high cut, up in my stance, and vice versa with the other way. So it's honestly the exact same as a variable length. That's how I hit draws and cuts. But yeah, it is very interesting how a lot of people ask, how do you hit these different shots with it? It's not that difficult. You just got to move back or up, close the face or open the face, just like any other set.
So Bryson, as golfers get into OneLength irons, specifically those who have played variable length for a long time, what are you seeing as far as distance gapping? How does that shake out? Is there any effect to the golfers' distances they're used to hitting their clubs?
It is pretty much the exact same as a variable length set in regards to distance gapping. People think that length is the reason why it goes farther. Well, that is true, but if they had the same head weight on all of the clubs, it would consistently keep going way too far with variable length. So variable length has to exchange the weight of the head for the length of the club. So 3-iron head is very, very light compared to 7-iron and pitching wedge head. Pitching wedge head is really heavy and it's shorter. So they're trying to exchange the mass and length properties to have it go the right distance anyway. All I've done is taken the 7-iron and moved it all the way out to a pitching wedge and a 3-iron. And so loft is really the answer to this distance question. Where 4 degrees of loft accounts for about 12 to 13 yards of distance when swung around 90 miles an hour. That's a lot of information, but it's 4 degrees of loft, that change, when swung at 90 miles an hour accounts for about 12 to 13 yards in distance change. And that's what they do on variable length as well. And so, pitching wedge all the way to a forearm, if you were to hit both sets, they would fly the exact same distance, given that they were the same mass properties and things like that relative to the 7-iron.
All right, so you think that 13 to 15 yards in between each club is generally where people should be?
Yeah, in general, that's when swung at 90 miles an hour.
Sure.
When swung at 90 miles an hour, and that's just usually what happens because of the physics of loft.
Gotcha.
It's the loft, the 4 degrees of loft change is really the reason why it changes distances, shorter or longer.
So Bryson, for somebody interested in going from a variable length to a one length set, what advice would you have for them to kind of get started, and what's the best way to get fitted for them?
So I'd say the most important thing is getting fit. You have to get fit with the OneLengths, I would say. And in order to do that, you got to go to Golf Galaxy, nearest Golf Galaxy, and either Dick's Sporting Goods as well, and go get fit and make sure it's right for you.